Okay, 1, 2, 3. Right.
Welcome to another episode of Tales of the Shepherds.
Welcome to the Tales of the Shepherds introductory podcast. So basically, we are a group of friends and we've been playing D&D for the last year and about 3 months. And about 6 months ago we decided that it would be actually kind of fun to record this and put it out for people to listen. So the voice you're hearing now, I'm Mark. I'm probably the person who talks the most on the podcast. I'm the GM and the kind of creator of the world that we're playing in.
Yeah, I'm Fergus. I play Tuck Graska, who's a half-orc paladin.
So I'm Tim, and I play the character Windle Bobblesworth.
Again.
Bobblesworth, yeah, you forgot.
Pretty sure that's what I typed a year and a half ago. A halfling wizard.
I'm Alan, and I play the character of Zilros, second name
Unknown.
And I'm Jack. I play Chodak Tokme.
Yeah. Which coincidentally used to be
His name got reversed.
Tuckme Chodak.
Yeah.
But the problem was no one could tell the difference between you and me.
Dungeons and Dragons is a game that can be played either tabletop or online. It's all about kind of role-playing your character, it's all about imagination, and not that much. I tried to keep it away from all the kind of mathsy kind of more strict rules. So I think you've heard from me way too much now, so we're actually going to talk about the characters that are in this game and the characters you guys are playing. So Fergus, we'll start with you.
Yeah. So certain traits about Tuck, he doesn't really respect anyone unless they've proven themselves in battle.
Talk, I always see Talk as the moral center of the party. Whereas I think anybody listening to our podcast will notice that the party is, if I was going to describe the party in one word, I'd say chaotic. That's
Talk is not he's not the sharpest too.
No,
he's
he's
not that bright. So
you're like, come on, Tuck, you go on ahead there. As soon as you're back there, I'm going to kill everyone and rob them, this kind of thing.
If Tuck was faced with an undead monster, even if it was 6 foot tall and built like a brick shit house, he wouldn't turn away for fear because he knew this is something I have to purge.
Yeah. Talk is very, very brave and will always stand up for fights.
And it's massive.
Windle, on the other hand, not so keen of fights and bravery.
But it is massive.
Yeah.
Essentially, Windle was a small little farm boy in a happy kind of halfling town. Basically, the happiest hobbit that ever was. But as he grew up, weird things started happening. His parents then received a generous offer for Windle's services, so he was taken away by the trader. The trader who picked him up turned out to be a horrible, evil man, a bandit, who tried to sell Windle into slavery. Windle escaped and got to a college of mages.
His personality was, he'd always be the guy at the back, and he would kind of always take a sensible option, all this kind of stuff. But over the year and a bit that we've been playing this campaign, Windle has taken a darker turn.
I suppose power was his ambition. He wants to become powerful.
Become quite complex.
There's layers to everyone.
Yeah. Speaking about feckin' layers, let's talk a little bit about Zilros.
Let's talk about the onion knives.
Zilros is chaos personified. Basically, when he was really young, only a baba, he was living on a farm. I came from a farming background, so I took that inspiration. I kind of tried to relate to him a little bit on that level. But that's where we kind of differ, in that his family was then butchered by a marauding troop of orcs. And then he wandered the streets for a while and managed to pick up some work, apprenticing for a woodworker. Zilros would secretly use the workshop. While he was woodworking, he had made himself a lute. The master caught him one day using the tools and booted him out back onto the streets. He took his loot with him, and then he got work. He got better at the loot. He got work as a travelling bard.
Out of all of our characters, I think Zilros is always the one who is the hardest to pin down.
He's a little bit of a loose cannon. He's very bad at making friends. He usually stabbed them in the back, before they stabbed him in the back. That's the way he sees the world.
Doc and Zilros have a really
interesting relationship.
I kind of see a lot of parallels between Legolas and Gimli. It basically, what I'm trying to achieve with this is that how evil he is directly related to how abandoned he feels.
Right.
The interactions of like Thok and Wendell and Zilros, while they had a couple of episodes together to form a bond, then we got introduced to Jack's character. So Jack, do you want to give us a bit of that?
My character, Shodak, is a halfling monk, and the backstory for him is that he doesn't really know who his family is. He was left off at a Southern Star monastery as a child, and whenever he asked about where he came from, it was always shut down. But he was always treated really, really well. I kind of see Chodak's role within the. He's like the kind of stereotypical millennial. He's just full of optimism. He just never really delivers.
The thing I love most about Shodak is, I think his defining attribute is something that you could never come up with initially, because it came through roleplay, and it's that he's clumsy. That's the thing I really like about it. Like, he always tends to fuck up really important situations. And that's purely because when you first started playing, you failed a load of dice rolls. Really important dice rolls.
And that's stuck.
Yeah, and it's stuck.
I planned out how Shodak should be, but then when it came to actually playing, I'd be putting so much effort into playing D&D and learning the rules. And starting off as well, just like winning the game, you know? Like, there's that temptation to just like win. I think if I had to sum him up, I would say he is good-natured.
Okay.
With a short attention span.
100%.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like he almost sees through his own bullshit.